Shalom. Before I begin, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem HaKadosh, and the honor to the apostles and elders, great millstone, and shalom to the Akim teaching his word, throughout the four corners and true sincerity. I'm back on the lesson, through the Spirit by Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua. Allah wouldn't be edifying unto the elect. All right, the true name of God is Yahweh, which means he is or he exists. And the name of his son is Yahweh Shai. All right, the name of the Son of God is Yahweh Shai. It's not Jesus, it's Yahweh Shai, which means he saves or he delivers. All right. And his word goes out to the so-called blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, which are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Because we have been scattered through multiple captivities, and because we disobeyed, all right, Yahweh Ba'ashem Shai. All right, so he sent us out into these different captivities, serving, all right, different idols. All right, and we were lost to this wisdom and knowledge for a period of time, but now the Lord is waking us up, all right, to who we truly are. Okay, because we are living in the last days, and things are getting closer and closer to the day of Yahweh Shai, when Yahweh Shai is gonna make his, second return. Okay, and as you can see, even with the condition of the earth, that we're getting again very close, all right, to it. All right, your job is to repent, because a change is coming. A major change is coming. Or even and this what the topic of this lesson is going into. A change is gonna come, because even at work, even Jake is noticing there's something wrong with the earth, and how to even he was talking about America. He's just saying, like, I don't know, and he just started talking about this randomly. All right, he just talking about how things used to be back then. All right, how things used to be more simple. He was talking about the nigger women, how the nigger women ain't shit. He was talking about how even the food that we eat, all right, is not good. He's talking about how we got these phones in our hands is rotting people's brains. All right, and Jake is understanding that, all right, this is not it. All right, how the condition of the earth is completely is out of whack. All right, not even Jake, just the animals. All right, us. All right, regular Jake now. So, we coming to that time, all right, that a change is coming, all right, a change is coming, all right, but the change is going to come when Esau Edom gets taken out of rulership, all right, but this is Sirach 10, and so I get 4, I'm going to start at 1, all right, it says, a wise judge will instruct his people, and the government of a prudent man is well ordered, right, so the way you rule a kingdom, all right, you just being a wise judge. The way you rule a kingdom, let me just see what the word judge in the Etymon. A judge is to examine, appraise, and make a diagnosis, to form an opinion about, inflict penalty on, punish, try someone, and pronounce sentence. This also means to make a decision, think, suppose, pass an opinion on, judgment, to judge, to examine officially. It says a judge, write a law, to say, to show. All right, it says public officer appointed to administer the law. All right, so a wise judge, somebody that's supposed to administer, all right, the law and the true laws, the law, statutes, commandments of the scriptures. A wise judge are supposed to instruct his people, meaning lead them, but not in a wicked direction, but in the right direction, and that's ultimately gonna be Yahweh Shai. All right, but again, the government of prudent man is well ordered. In this kingdom, there is no order. That's why Jake was talking about how he was talking about how it is outside of America, how women outside of America, they just better. All right, they don't deal with things that we got to deal with, and etc. All right, it's not just just being out of America. This whole earth just needs a cleanse. All right, because it's just not just leaving America. Because he said he wanted to leave Babylon. I believe he wanted to leave Babylon, but the situation starts with the ruler. All right, because the scriptures tell us in Job 9:24, it says the earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? And we know that when it says he covered the faces of the judges thereof, is talking about iconoclasm, when he basically whitewashed the images of Yahweh Shai, the angels, Yahweh, our forefathers. But the situation starts with Esau Edom, because the earth is given into his hand. All right, but even though it's given into his hand, all right, look how he deals with the earth. He completely pollutes the air, the food, even the ground. All right, just just dealing with the money system. The money system is not really money; it's fiat currency, and that's what happens when you have a wicked nigga in power. All right, that's why it says in Proverbs 29 and 2. It says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. And we've been mourning for years, and even Jake is mourning now. She even got Edomites, all right, that's living in their own kingdom. They fucking mourning. Just to show you, just to show you who's in power. All right, people are talking about things are too expensive. People are working 2-3 jobs. People are, maxing out their credit cards. A credit card debt is through the roof. I believe in the trillions, the billions or the trillions, probably the trillions. All right, that's what happens when Esau Edom is in power. All right. That's why we need a new heaven and a new earth. We need a whole new, refreshed rulership and a whole new, really a complete whole new, earth, because of the pollution. All right, the things that this devil did to the ocean and certain, national parks and animals have just been extinct. All right, certain things he done did to mountains. All right, things he done dumped into the water. Things that's in the air. You got things called forever chemicals. See, things like that. It just has to be completely, cleansed. Okay. This is back in Sirach 10. It says, as a judge of the people is himself, so are his officers, and what manner of man the ruler of the city is, such are all they that go therein. So if there's a wicked ass ruler, hence Esau Edom, which is a so-called white man, okay, if he's the ruler, it's ultimately just gonna trickle down, all right, to those in leadership positions, and even to the citizens. So you have things like the alphabet gang, the Momo community, right? You got men with that can they allow I'm not even gonna say the word, but they allow right? They allow bestiality, things like that. All right, it trickles down, right? The majority, the average American or the average Egyptian, right? They're just wicked. Right? They do whatever they want. They all in their lust, right? Because that's how the ruler is. It says, an unwise king destroyeth his people, but through the prudence of them which are in authority, the city shall be inhabited. So, him being an unwise king, he's destroying his people, right? And what's the way to true wisdom and knowledge? It's through the scriptures. The scriptures tell us how to deal with the earth, how to deal with the animal. You have things like the land Sabbath, how you deal with certain animals. Okay, what animals to eat, what animals not to eat. All right, how to deal with people, how to deal with living situations. All right, you're not supposed to have people just living on top of each other, not building too high. Right, things like that. He doesn't follow that, and that destroys the mentality of a person. All right, the scriptures say to do certain things for a reason. It's not just the Lord just said it just for no reason. All right, there's a purpose behind it. All right, for the benefits. All right, how to deal, because how would it affect a person, and we see it. All right, everybody just it's like it. Everybody just bundled together. All right, living amongst each other. Everybody just angry and stressed out. Right, they don't have no breaks. All right, they working heavy. All right, the food not helping either. All right, even the medicine when people are sick, all right, that's not helping. So he's destroying his people. All right, for the sake of money, monetary gain. All right, it says the power of the earth is in the hand of the Lord, and in due time he will set over it one that is profitable. So, and that's what we're waiting for, Yahweh Shai. Right, he's gonna be that profitable when he's gonna set things in order. Then we're gonna see how the earth is supposed to be ruled, how we're gonna see peace. All right, but it's gonna start with the kingdom of Yahweh Shai, but the rulership of Yahweh Shai. All right, the scriptures even call him I'm gonna read it. Isaiah 9:6. Start at 6 says, for unto us a child is born, unto us it's like you. It says, unto us a son is given, And the government shall be upon his shoulders, and his name shall be called Wonderful Counselor, the Mighty Power, the Everlasting Father, the Prince of Peace. All right, you see the Prince of Peace. It's one of his titles. Peace. All right. Okay, because even though he's not coming back peacefully, after it's gonna be peaceful. All right, because that's just how kingdoms, all right, get taken down by war. All right. It says, and of the increase of his governments and peace there shall be no end. Right? Can you imagine a world, a life, just forever peace. All right, an unending peace. Okay, mentally, spiritually, physically, dealing with us. All right, just peaceful. All right, we won't have to, we won't have stress. Think about things that's stressing us out. We won't have to deal with the nigga women. All right, always trying to argue and shit. You don't gotta deal with our people. All right, acting amok. All right, you don't gotta deal with, work. Okay, just peaceful. You want to deal with just thinking about things that's just, again, all right, and it really starts in your mind. All right, then you start stressing about bills and etc. Stressing about things that don't even truly matter. That's how bad it is. All right, and the stress is at an all-time high. Going back to that Sirach 10, an unwise king destroyed his people. All right, because you have too much high levels of stress, you can literally die early. All right, it says, for unto us, it's like 7 of the increase of his government and peace there shall be no end upon the throne of David and upon his kingdom to order it. All right, see, there you go. A wise judge will instruct his people. And I believe it said a government of a prudent man is well ordered. All right, let me search up the word order just to see what it say. Order. It says body of person living under religious discipline. See, that's order. All right, having a government, a society, a community, right, the kingdom under a religious, discipline. All right, what can represent a religious discipline? All right, living the life under the law, statutes, commandments, not going astray from how to deal in everyday life. All right, let me see what this say. Again, it says position, estate, rule, regulation, or religious, order. What is religious? Let me see. It's like a devout, poised, imbued with, or expressive of religious devotion. All right. It says a youth of Christian Jews, pagans, belong to a religious order, devout, reverencing or fearing the gods, but there's only one true God, in Yahweh Bashem El Shai. All right. It says holiness, pertaining to religion. All right. What does it says? Rule, line, rank, series, pattern, arrangement, routine. So we're living under a routine. Right? Ultimately, the law, statutes, commandments is like a routine. All right. You constantly not doing certain things, not eating certain things. All right. A routine is a customary course of action, more or less mechanical performance of certain acts or duties, or a usual course of action. All right, we're living on a very wicked routine with Esau, Edom, and there is no routine, because you can do whatever you want here in America. All right, that's why it says to order it. All right, and to establish it with judgment, with justice from henceforth, even forever. All right, so what we going through now, we won't ever have to deal with it ever again. All right, that's why we got to go so hard. All right, because after this is the last captivity. That's just the zeal of the Lord Yahweh of hosts will perform this. All right, so we just gotta wait patiently, all right, for the Lord to establish, all right, His kingdom, and we are very close. All right, you just looking at the prophecies, the signs of the mark of the beast, all right, the signs of World War III, the signs of Trump being in office. All right, this kingdom, America, is divided. All right, all these are signs of a collapse of this kingdom, and once this kingdom collapses, then things are going to move quickly. All right, once that famine war hits, I should say, things are going to move quickly. And once this kingdom collapses, and once this once the economy fails, all right, things are going to move fast in a way too. All right. Okay. And once Yahushua returns, and defeat these nations and defeat Esau, Edom mainly. All right, then you're gonna see the benefit. I'm bringing one more precept to end it off. In Proverbs 11, Proverbs 11 and 21 says, no, not 21. Hmm. 11 and 10, Salaki says, when they go well with the righteous, the city rejoiceth. And when the wicked perish, they're shouting. All right, people are going to be shouting, rejoicing. Like, yeah, let's go. Right, especially us. All right, giving praise to the Lord. That we don't got to deal with this shit no more. All right, that's going to be your pa. All right, being able to lay down, sleep if you want to. Sleep if we want to. And waking up, not having a worry in the world. Just deciding shit. What do I want to do today? On my planet or in my mansion. All right, that's the thing that not even worry about. That's the things that we gonna be thinking about. Singing out with each other. Being with our women. All right, our women are hanging out with Yahweh Shai. That's number one. Drinking with Yahweh Shai. Giving praises to the Lord. Just being 100% righteous. All right, that's the things that we're looking forward to. All right, because scriptures tell us oppression make a wise man mad. So if there's no more oppression, there's no reason for us to be, sighing and crying for the abominations that's being done. All right, because we're gonna be the judges. We're gonna be the ones set in order, as well as us being the party elect, or us being part of the elect and being that governing body. All right, we're gonna be part of Yahweh Shai's government. Okay, to order it and to establish it as well. All right. With that alone, this lesson was edifying. I want to give our praises to Yahweh Bashemel, Shai Bashem Kakodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders, great millstone, and shalom to the Akim teaching